Alright, here we go. Hi, everyone, and welcome to TWF Rampage, or Ram Through. Michael Cole, here with Tony Schiavone and with Elijah Burke. And today on Rampage, or Ram Through, we're going to see Duke of the G.I. Joes take on Cobra, or Cobra Commander, or whatever the English word would be, Snakehead or Snake Leader. For anyone who has ever saw the G.I. Joe's Deke show, who has ever saw any of the films that Hasbro has made over the years, they all know who Cobra Commander is, or Snakehead is, or Snake Leader is. Michael Cole said, "Yeah, you got that right," Tony Schiavone said. "Yesterday on Friday Night SmackDown, we saw Duke and Drew McIntyre take on the Cobra Commander, or the Snakehead, or the Snake Leader, and it did not end very well for the handicap match that happened yesterday." Well, I can tell you one thing, Michael and Tony. Right now, Elijah Burke says he wants to get even. He feels that his name, he believes he got shamed, that his name as a follower of the 4-1 Bonds of Evil, got besmirched, Elijah Burke says. So he's out for blood. Well, speaking of that, Michael Cole says, if one's going to be a fear striker and a warlord, and an outlaw, as well, besides being a sinner and a thief, one doesn't get any on-look. So, it seems that Duke from the G.I. Joes has showed up yesterday, and him and Drew McIntyre thought that they beat me. Well, guess again. You didn't beat me at all. At the end of the day, I'm gonna beat you. So why don't you come out here now, so I can put an end to you, one of my longtime foes. Because there's no way you got even on me. Like I used to say back in the day, at least I said it in the Deke show, they don't make fear strikers like they do now. You got that wrong, Cobra Commander, or Snakehead, or Snake Leader. Fear strikers of any kind are sinful, unlawful folks. And we all know what your goal was. Your goal is to take over every law moat. No need if it be a kingdom, or a folk right, or an under speakership, or a speakership. Your goal is to, take over the world. So being a warlord and a fear striker and a thief wasn't good enough for you. You want to be an overlord, a overwatcher. You want to be a force sitter, or a first wicker, or a highest leader. You want to be a king or a kaiser. Well, that's not going to happen. Because I'm not going to let that happen. And me and Drew McIntyre are going to put a stop to you like we did yesterday. And we're going to do it again. Yeah, well, you and Drew McIntyre got lucky yesterday. No need that you're going to beat me. Hey, at the end of the day, Drew McIntyre says, I don't think luck had anything to do with it. There's 2 of us and only 1 of you. So I don't like your luck. Drew McIntyre, I have dealt with him for many years, and you only been dealing with him. So if he wants to have the same match that happened yesterday on Friday Night SmackDown, happened here today on Rampage or Ram Through, by all means, we can let that happen. Well, it looks like that Astronema, or Corone, Michael Cole says, is going to have to make that match. And here is Ecliptor now with Astronema. Alright, it seems that you folks out there want to have a fight. And it seems that I can make that happen. So, anyway, the way I look at it is, since you didn't learn anything from your first match yesterday, and you want to have the match again, well, by all means, why don't we do it, Astronema says. Why not have Duke and Drew McIntyre take on Cobra Commander or Snakehead or Snake Leader again? The same match we did yesterday on Friday Night SmackDown, we can do here today on Rampage or Ramfru. How do you like that? That's not good, Astronema. That's not good, Ecliptor. Well, life is not fair. You know, and why should life have double standards for a fear striker, warlord, and a sea thief like you, Cobra Commander, or Snakehead, or Snake Leader, Ecliptor goes. Yeah, that's right. Life is not fair. And that's why you're going to be fighting Duke and Drew McIntyre again here today on Rampage or Ramfru. So, let's do it. Well, we just heard from Astronema. That we're going to have the same match that we saw yesterday on Friday Night SmackDown happen again here today on Rampage or Ramfru, Michael Cole says. And I know one thing, Tony Schiavone says, if he wasn't happy with the first time they had the match, he is not going to be happy, with this time. Meaning, well, this looks like that, it's going to start out here, Michael Cole says, and a Claymore kick, or whatever the English word for that, from Drew McIntyre to Cobra Commander or Snake Leader, Michael Cole says. Well, yes, Tony Schiavone said, and now he just tagged in Duke of the G.I. Joes, and Duke just did the same thing. And Duke did the same thing, and now Duke's going to get the cover over him. And so is Drew McIntyre. They're both going to get the cover on him. How can this be lawful? How can this be right? How can Duke and Drew McIntyre both be in the ring at the same time getting cover on Cobra Commander or Snakehead or Snake Leader? It's just sad. And the Fight Lord doesn't have any room to track 1, 2, 3 anyway. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner. Here is your winners, Duke and Drew McIntyre. Well, Duke and Drew McIntyre have once again beat Cobra Commander or Snakehead or Snake Leader here today on Rampage or Ramfru, Michael Cole says. That's right, Tony Schiavone said. Once again, the warlord, fear striker, sea thief, the wannabe overlord, overwatcher, the wannabe king, Kaiser, four-sitter, first wicker. It's not going to happen. And he got beat here today on Rampage or Ramfru, Tony Schiavone said. I can tell you one thing, Michael and Tony. Elijah Burke says, I truly feel sorry for Cobra Commander or Snake Leader or Snakehead, because even though, he's a fear striker, he's a warlord, he's a sea thief, he's an outlaw, and yes, he's a sinner, like all men and women are, sadly. I feel sorry for him because he was getting beat in a one-sided fight yesterday and getting beaten in a one-sided fight here today. Well, you can feel sorry for him all you want, Michael Cole says, but I don't think that's going to shift the truth that he brought that on himself, Michael Cole goes. That's right, Tony Schiavone goes, he brought that on himself. by his chooses. He made him put himself in a bind of his own making. Well, now we got Mike Lane. Alright, thank you, Michael Cole and Tony Schiavone. I'm going to be talking with Drew McIntyre and Duke here today on Rampage or Ramfru. Alright, Duke. Well, I do know you are the team leader of the G.I. Joes, and you've been fighting Cobra, that sinful, fear-striking business, for many years. Yes, we've been fighting the Cobra the Cobra fear-striking business or team or whatever it is for years, and we think we came very near to beating them many times, both in the Deke Drawling show and in the films, and also in the funny books and wherever else G.I. Joes are at. So anyway, what brought you and Drew McIntyre together? Well, me and Drew McIntyre had the same bind. He had a bind with Cobra Commander or Snake Leader or Snakehead for years with that Fear Striker, that Warlord, and I thought he could work my help. So when he asked someone who's had dealings with him over the years if he could help him, I said I'd do it. Well, that's right, Mike Lane. At the end of the day, I knew that there were folks out there that had dealings with that Fear Striker, that Warlord, that Sea Thief, Cobra Commander, or Snakehead, or Snake Leader. So I made a call, and we were so good when we got Duke from the G.I. Joe from Big Lots yesterday, so we could start getting the G.I. Joe dolls. And sooner or later, Cobra Commander or Snake Leader or Snakehead, whatever he's calling himself, he's soon going to be done. He'll be over. And sooner or later, we'll take his kind, out of the toy wrestling gathering. Well, that's my talk with, Duke and Drew McIntyre. Back to you, Michael Cole and Tony Schiavone. Thank you, Mike Lane, for talking with Duke and Drew McIntyre here today on Rampage or Ramfru. And that is all the time we got here for Rampage or Ramfru. I, Michael Cole, Tony Schiavone, and Elijah Burke. We hope you like Rampage or Ramfru, and we'll see you tomorrow for Collision or Hit or Strike.